So I'll try not to move because I move a lot. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what I do, which is teaching and learning. And it's a little bit actually the same what you do every day since we were born, right? Our parents are here to teach us and we're here to learn them. But a lot of the times, or mainly throughout our lives, we do the same, the opposite, let's say. We teach them about trust, about compassion, and about unconditional love. At least some of us. So I came to Dubai in 2013. I came here to teach. I've never been in the Middle East before. It was my first time. I came to teach in a university. I never taught in a university before I came here. I came to teach in English. I never taught in English. Basically, I say yes to everything. It was a little bit like this invitation to talk then. So you invited me and I said, yes, of course I will. It's in 3 months' time. But 3 months are passed really quickly. And today I'm here and I have a slight idea of what I'm supposed to tell you. So I came to Dubai with this new challenge, and what can I say? It was the first time I left my country, and I came here alone. And when you're alone, if you feel it, I don't think most of the people feel this, but if you move to another country, you know no one, you have no friends, you're truly alone. So when you're walking on the metro, you're truly alone. When you're at home with no sofas, no bed, you're truly alone. And you take a lot of time to think about yourself and what you're doing. So I remember one day I was in the metro with my headphones and my iPhone, brand new, iPhone 5, cool one, still the same, doesn't work that well, but, and I started thinking about my life. What am I doing here? What am I supposed to do here? I've never done this before. So I went back to my life, and today's kind of a nice revenge for me and for my professors, because I really had some really bad professors, and it's weird how I'm 6,500 kilometers away from home. I'm 37, and I have the moment to revenge myself for my bad professors. So since I was a kid, I was kind of a brat kid. I had a lot of energy, let's say. And people would just call me, what? Uneducated, stubborn, brat. I think today, by what Sir Ken Robinson says in one of his talks, I would have ADHD. I think that's what's called today. For me, I was just having fun. I was a kid, and I would like to, if you would get me focused, I would be focused. I would be your best student. At the moment, I would snap, like, I'm bored, I would destroy your class. And actually, that's what I did throughout my life. It started in my primary school. I went to primary school, and by coincidence, and at the time in my country, this was possible, my primary school teacher was actually my grandma. So on the first day of class, I got there, and my mom told me, look, she's not your grandma anymore. She's your teacher. I'm like, yeah, Mom, that's cool. It's like, no, she's your teacher. You have to call her teacher. Remember, you have to call her teacher. I'm like, okay. So first day of class, I'm in class, and it's like, hey, teacher. And you're looking at your grandma, you know. She's like, hey, sit down, be there. And I had this energy, so while she got me focused, everything was fine until I snapped. And when I snapped, I actually just started running around class and destroying everyone's work and papers flying, and I was just having a blast. You know, it's like, this is my moment. Obviously, I had no recess for 1 month, so that was kind of my first academic punishment, you can say, which is really hard for kids. And imagine a brat kid with a lot of energy. But they had to do it. Then I went to church school because of my mama. My mother is quite religious, and she's like, you have to go to church school. Church school at the time was at Saturdays morning, and at the time there was 2 TV channels only in Portugal, and they would play the cartoons Saturday mornings. So your chance to watch cartoons with nobody kind of distracting you, just doing your things, like my week, you know, it's like a work for my cartoons, I would have to go to church school. For a brat kid, it's not a very good idea. So I went to church school. I didn't want to go. I went to church school, and I would get there, and you would have these youngsters, kind of youngsters, 18, 19. They were going to teach you all about religion, which I really didn't care about. And they start talking about religion, blah, 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 all the things, and then they would ask you to do a drawing. Okay, now to end the class, and we'd have like half an hour or something. For a brat kid, half an hour is like a world. It's like never ends. Let's draw Jesus and the apostles. I'm like, okay, I can do it. It's Jesus and the apostles. 10 seconds or 15 seconds here. And they're like, no, you have to draw it. It's like, no, do it again. I was like, okay, 10 more seconds. It's here. And they're like, no, you have to draw it again. I was like, okay. And until today, I still know how to draw it. I was going to bring a drawing, but I didn't have it. But till today, I could draw it. So I got bored really fast. And what happened again, I snapped again. And I did basically the same thing I did in my first day of school. So I just started running around, and I kind of destroyed the church school class. And they actually called the main priest, which was like this really tough guy. And he came to me and he said, I'm going to talk to your parents. You're going to be expelled from church school. I'm like, yeah. And I was actually expelled from church school. He did it and I didn't. And actually it was good for me because, in fact, I think Jesus loves me because I got to watch my cartoons for the rest of my life. And this went on and on and on. And then I got to high school. And throughout my academic life, I was, let's say, invited a lot of the times to go to the hallway, to meet the dean, the director. He became a big friend of mine. I knew all about the school facilities. And when I was 17, they were kind of tired of me, you know what I mean? All the professors knew me in my high school. All the new professors knew me in my high school. The old ones, the students. So they were kind of tired. They were like, Tiago, I think that's enough. I'm like, yeah, I'll chill. It's okay. It's like, no, you have to leave. And I got expelled from my school, actually. And I got expelled on that moment, which is kind of a weird thing. The time he told me, well, they phoned me home before, but the time he officially told me, you have to leave, I actually left the premises. It's like, you have to leave the premises. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just a student. So I was kind of a brat, but also misunderstood most of the times. And this went on and on and on. And supposedly, and as Sir Ken Robinson also says, in our modern or contemporary life, if you don't achieve academically, if you don't achieve something, you're bound to fail. And there was this time that I was thinking, should I continue, should I not continue? But I had this group of incredible teachers that helped me, and I graduated from high school. And then I continued. My life continued, and things happened, and I became an architect. I did well in uni. It took me a while because I was having fun, but I did well. And I continued, and then the crisis came. I finished my degree in 2008 when the world crisis, economic crisis started. So I found it in a very good way. Let's say it was not a bad thing because it couldn't be worse, you know what I mean? So if the world is destroyed, it can all be better, right? So I applied to teach because I had this image of mostly bad professors that anyone can teach, right? It's like, it's so easy. I knew all about it. I was being expelled all the time. I knew what they did. I just have to stand there and say, see, and I would read the lecture, and it's like, bye-bye, money in the cash in the pocket, and it's like, thank you very much, and I can expel students, you know what I mean? So I applied for a government. There's a government system, and I applied. I was like, I'm not making money as an architect. I'm not doing anything, so let's try to be a teacher. And they, which is quite surprising, they selected me. Officially, the Portuguese government wanted me to teach students. So I taught students from, there were like 53 adults, from 53 till they were like 20-something, my first section. And then I taught students, they were like 7th graders and 11th graders. And I have this adaptability. And they always, let's say, they gave me the bad sections or the bad classes because I wasn't supposed to be a teacher. So nobody wanted those classes. Like, look, you're the new guy. Just take this batch. I'm like, okay. And they all, let's say, they were kind of like me. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm in my world. I'm not different now. We're all the same. But they couldn't understand it. So I was like, I'm just like you. You know what I understand? And I got great results with my students. I became a director of a kind of a high school degree. And then we had this big reunion, big meeting, and all the professors wanted to fail him. He was in the 11th grade like me when I was expelled. It's like, no, he has to fail because he doesn't behave, and he's a brat, blah, 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 blah. And I was seeing myself there. I was like, oh my God, I'm the director. I can do anything. And they all voted to fail him, and they were going to expel him from high school. But because I was a director, my vote was much more important, so I could just silence them. And what I told him is like, I'm sorry. This kid comes from a poor family. He has no chance. This is in the countryside of Portugal, so they are all farmers. So he has no chance. He won't be anyone if you fail him now, if you expel him from high school. So I'm sorry, and I was the youngest teacher. I'm sorry, but I'm going to override your decision, and I'm going to pass him. And I just knew, when I came to Dubai 3 years ago, I got an email saying that all of my students in that section passed, excluding one, which is not this one. But this specific student, he passed and he finished high school and is now working, doing something with his life, which is incredible. So the main focus that I want to tell you about is adaptability. So how come people cannot adapt to all the students? So every one of us is unique. We're all different, especially the brat ones. So you have the normal ones, you have the brats, and within the brat, they're all unique. You know what I mean? It's kind of a little bit like colorblind. So you all of you see in a scale of colors. I'm colorblind also, I know that about, so I have two things. As colorblind, I see in a different scale. And colorblind themselves, they see in different scales of colors. Or it's like lefties. You all have lefties in your class, and they're like 3 or 2. It's like, oh, we're special, we're lefties. You know what I mean? So the professor should adapt to all of these environments and all of these students. There was this article in Forbes magazine that says that for every happy worker or happy professional, you have 2 unhappy ones. So when you're unhappy, you cannot actually do well your job. Well, if you're working in finance, it's just pressing numbers like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this, you know, but you're not going to affect anyone. But if you're a teacher, how can you teach? How can you talk to students? How can you communicate? How can you pass information if you're unhappy? To a normal class. How can you do that? To a brat. Do you know what I mean? You're unhappy, your life's not good. He's getting bored. That's a wrong combination. I just forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say here is that all the professors should adapt to their environment and to their students as we adapt to the professors, or not. I didn't adapt that much. So there was this study in 2015 by Rebecca J. Colley, and Andrew J. Martin. They've done a study about professors, and they found out that the professors themselves, they feel better and they have more work commitment if the administration actually gives them freedom. If you give freedom to a professor, he becomes, he feels better, he is more committed to his work. And when he does this, he becomes more adaptable. So his adaptability levels go higher. And they actually prove that whenever the adaptability professor goes higher, the students' results go higher. So think about all those professors that couldn't adapt and they couldn't reach you. So they weren't that good professors. So what I want to finish and just conclude that every student should be perceived as a unique individual and should be taught as one. When you see an open door, just go ahead and open it. That's what it's meant for. Thank you very much.